Did you know? Mirrodin was one of the most powerful sets ever printed. It introduced artifact lands, equipment, and even broke the game with affinity. For the first time, Magic had a block solely centered around artifacts, and it did some great things, but also some bad things. Let's go ahead and cover some of the extraordinary cards that were in this revolutionary set. Before Mirrodin was printed, Urza block was commonly referred to as the artifact-themed trio of sets. Urza's Saga and its two expansions were known more for its artifacts because a lot of them were incredibly powerful, and even received bans when they were in Standard. However, the block was actually enchantment-themed. As a matter of fact, Urza block only had a total of 68 artifact cards, while Mirrodin block had 280 artifacts. Urza block, being enchantment-themed, had 159 enchantment cards printed, while Mirrodin block only had 26. Mirrodin was called Argentum before it became known as Mirrodin. Created by the artificial planeswalker Karn, Argentum was a plane of mathematical perfection. However, during its creator's absence, the plane transformed into Mirrodin by its warden, Memnarch. Memnarch was a construct created by Karn, and his essence came from a powerful artifact called the Mirari. When Memnarch came in contact with Phyrexian oil that was unknowingly left behind by Karn, it corrupted him. He slowly transformed Argentum into a new ecosystem to be used for his selfish desires. Having been birthed from the Mirari, Memnarch renamed Argentum to Mirrodin to honor the powerful artifact. Mirrodin's set symbol is based on Sword of Kaldra, a legendary artifact equipment that was also the set's pre-release promo. The other legendary pieces were introduced in subsequent sets, Darksteel and Fifth Dawn, which had Shield of Kaldra and Helm of Kaldra respectively. Before hexproof was an official keyword mechanic, it was often referred to as Troll Shroud, thanks to Troll Aesthetic. Since this was the first time Magic's competitive scene saw a creature with a hexproof ability, Troll Aesthetic was one of the most hyped cards coming out of the set, and it did not disappoint. With equipment also being introduced, the Troll was a great target, especially with Luxodon Warhammer, a very powerful equipment that was later upshifted to rare in 9th edition, but then downshifted back down to uncommon in Commander 2016. Another keyword mechanic introduced in Mirrodin was Imprint. This ability lets a player choose a card from a zone, whether it be in the hand, battlefield, or graveyard, and exiles the chosen card to gain a quality to be imprinted. Among all the cards with Imprint, 3 of them have stood the test of time. The first card of note is Isochron Scepter. This famous artifact was a fan favorite among Control players, but did not have much success when it was in Standard, due to decks being too fast for the Scepter to handle. However, it saw occasional appearance in Vintage, Extended, Legacy, and Modern thanks to a wider range of instants the Scepter could imprint. Today, Isochron Scepter still sees play in older formats and is even played in Commander. The second card is Duplicant. This Commander All-Star was also played in Standard. It was mostly used as creature removal in Tooth and Nail, a ramp deck that cast its namesake to summon big fatties that usually come with a special ability. The last notable card with Imprint is Chrome Mox. When Mirrodin was released in 2003, the game had not seen a Mox in over 5 years, so players were excited to hear a new Mox was entering the game. But some were skeptical of the card's imprintability. However, that quickly changed as Chrome Mox saw immediate play in several decks. Of course, when you have a Mox in a set, you can't forget a Lotus. When Gilded Lotus was revealed, many players thought it was too slow, while some saw its potential. No matter what opinion they might have had, the famous Lotus did see some play in Standard, Tooth and Nail decks, and even Control decks. Some years later, Gilded Lotus became a staple in Commander and continues to be reprinted to this day. Besides Ali from Cairo, Platinum Angel was one of the very first creatures to have the ability "You Can't Lose the Game" printed on it. This was very exciting, and players started tinkering with the undefeatable Angel. Unfortunately, it was very easy to destroy, as there were lots and lots of artifact hate. That changed when Tooth and Nail became one of the best decks. Thanks to Cloudpost, a player piloting Tooth and Nail can ramp their namesake with Entwine within a few turns. This would let them tutor for 2 creatures and put them into play. Many targets were the aforementioned Duplicant and Platinum Angel, but the thing with Platinum Angel was that it could be paired with Leona Nabunas. This Cat Cleric gave all artifacts the player controls hexproof, making it harder for the opponent to kill Platinum Angel. Some games were decided by a Tooth and Nail into Angel and Leona Nabunas if the opponent didn't have any creature removal. Mirrodin was the first expansion set to feature the modern card frame. As you can see, the card frame had the white cards and artifact cards similar in color. This caused some confusion, as it was very hard to distinguish artifacts from white and vice versa. Magic addressed this in 5th Dawn by darkening the frame on the artifact cards. Another issue with the Mirrodin card frame were the mana symbols on the rules text. From 8th edition to 5th Dawn, the mana symbols on the rules text did not have any color. However, this was addressed in the following block, Champions of Kamigawa. The card Solemn Simulacrum was created by the Swedish Magic player Jens Torian for winning the Magic Invitational, a tournament that granted the champion to work with Magic R&D to create their very own Magic card with their likeness depicted in the artwork. His original submission was very much how its final version turned out, except instead of costing 4 generic mana, it was 2 generic, 1 green, and 1 blue. It also drew a card whenever it left play rather than when it would go to the graveyard, and it was named Forest Folk. The most notorious keyword mechanic from Mirrodin was Affinity. Most of us know about Affinity's utter dominance in Standard and the multiple bannings it received, but Affinity was initially a sleeper mechanic. When Mirrodin was released, Affinity was one of the most popular Standard decks, but its build was far different from the Affinity decks we see today. It had the usual suspects: Artifact Lands, Glimmervoid, Ornithopter, Frogmite, Mur-Enforcer, Somber Hoverguard, Thoughtcast, and Disciple of the Vault, but it ran Lightning Greaves, so that it would give haste and shroud to either Natog or Broodstar as a finisher. Some versions also ran the Talismans and even the Murs to accelerate into Broodstar. Many players knew Affinity was a busted mechanic, but it was missing a few pieces to make it stand out from the rest. Of course, they found their answer when the following set, Darksteel, was released. That's all we have for this episode. We'll take a look at Darksteel next time. This has been DJ from the Jumbo Commander YouTube channel talking to you about Mirrodin. If you like Commander and deck techs and Magic in general, come join me at the Jumbo Commander YouTube channel or follow me on Twitter at Jumbo Commander, and we can just talk about Magic all day. Make sure to subscribe to Gathering Magic to watch more episodes of Did You Know Magic? Thanks for watching.